Mr. Auchincloss for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. This is a timely hearing to hold, as 3 days ago, the House passed and the President signed into law an historic investment in our nation's infrastructure. The bipartisan infrastructure bill includes $66 billion for passenger and freight rail. Part of the bill's mission is to address the history of discrimination and how it has shaped our communities. The Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program was established under President Reagan, and yet 4 decades later, federal contracting awards are still struggling to include smaller businesses that strengthen local economies and create good jobs. Notably, this designation does not currently exist within the FRA, the Federal Rail Administration. As we make these new investments in rail made possible by BIF, especially the North-South Rail and the South Coast Rail in Massachusetts, and potentially East-West or North-South Rail as well, and further projects spurred by the passage of the infrastructure bill, we should not repeat the mistakes of the past. For Mr. Otero, you offered an idea in your testimony that the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program should not only provide subcontracting opportunities, but should also foster capacity building for DBE firms by providing meaningful participation. Can you expand more on that idea? And would there be incentives for the mentoring entity or a post-mentorship evaluation for each participating company?
In my experience, being in business for 32 years and being, I'd say 80% of our work is as a subconsultant, 20% is prime. All too often, the prime thinks that by having 10, 15 subs on their proposal, that's the way to win. And they may win, but the problem is what work is being divvied out to those 15 sub-consultants is menial, okay? What I try to talk to primes when they've given me the opportunity to provide some input to how they're going to frame the team, I say, look at what are the scopes of services that you're going to sub out and give it to 1 or 2 firms and approach it that way so that at the end of the day, I know I am responsible for the following work should we win. This way, it's in my wheelhouse. I'm using the staff and the capabilities that I have, and I am building that capacity and providing a meaningful service that I feel very capable of providing, so that it's a win-win situation all around. But a lot of times the primes don't want to look at it that way. They just want to have the 15 window dressing of firms on the team, and what they wind up giving to them and how meaningful it is not part of their philosophy in terms of diversity and inclusion.
That's helpful. I appreciate that insight. And then my final question for Ms. Malazeki, you noted in your testimony that if the contracting arena becomes more tailored to support small women and minority-owned businesses, like other agencies of government, your business would certainly pursue additional contracts. What can the FTA and the FHA do throughout these processes so that smaller businesses can equitably compete with the bigger entities?
Congressman, right now I've been awarded 2 FTA contracts back-to-back, 5 years as a prime contractor, nationwide contract for program management oversight. So to answer that question as to the FTA, they're already doing it. It was a big learning curve. It starts with the procurement at the agency to assist someone like me to answer the questions. We have to do all the other work, but there's a lot of administrative background to be a federal contractor. And the second time we went after the contract, it was competitive, and we're one of 5 small businesses out of 21 in the country that have this as a prime. What occurs though, and many of the people speaking today, is it changes the game because the large prime contractors don't want me to be in that prime arena. They want me to stay where I am. And that is the piece that with the DBE financial requirements and the different things that all of you have going on presently right now is we are capable to get to that next level, but we're strapped by other different pieces such as the financial capacity. And
Thank you, ma'am. My time has expired. I appreciate the answer and I yield back.
And thanks,